The story of St. Nicholas is told by Nancy Babish. Santa Claus to many Americans brings a smile to our faces. Close your eyes and think back to your childhood. The Christmas tree is all lit up with ornaments and lights. The stockings hung up above the fireplace, and milk and cookies are set out waiting for the jolly old St. Nick himself to swipe them up. All in preparation for the big day, Christmas. Oh, the toys, the joy, the look on all the children's faces. How did this magic come into existence? Since Santa already knows so much about us, which reminds me, are you on the naughty or nice list? Well, let's not worry about that right now. You have a few days to improve that. Let's get back to our main man, Santa Claus. Way long ago, there was a Reverend Bishop of Myra, which is now known today as Turkey. He was born in 270 AD. This man had been known to give all of his inheritance away to the poor and sick, especially to children and sailors. St. Nicholas was also notable for paying the dowries of impoverished girls. Although St. Nicholas died on December 6, 343 AD, he was celebrated every year with a feast in his honor. By the end of the 18th century, Americans finally noticed the power of St. Nicholas through a New York newspaper published in December 1773 and 1774, addressing Dutch families to honor the death of St. Nicholas. The New York newspaper, published in 1773, also gave us the name Santa Claus. It evolved from St. Nicholas's Dutch name Sinterklaas, or Sint Nicolaas, which is Dutch for St. Nicholas. A writer by the name of Washington Irving inspired the popularity of Sinterklaas in his 1809 book, The History of New York, by referring to St. Nicholas as the patron saint of New York. He is also responsible for putting Santa down the chimney to distribute presents. By 1820, stores began advertisements for Christmas shopping. By 1822, Santa's reindeer came to life in Clement Moore's poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas, which is more commonly known as 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Oddly, Rudolph, our most beloved reindeer, did not come into existence until almost 100 years later. Robert L. May created him as a marketing ploy to boost sales at Montgomery Ward by selling books he made about the famous Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Several million copies sold, songs were made, and a movie narrated by Burl Ives was created. The special little reindeer has stolen our hearts every Christmas since 1964, and with his story translated into 25 different languages, it has become much more than what Robert L. May bargained for. By 1881, Moore also impacted another man named Thomas Nast. Nast was a political cartoonist who took the thought-up image of Moore's jolly old St. Nick and created a happy, white-bearded Santa equipped with a sack of toys, red suit with white fur trimming, whom was from the North Pole where he had to work shop elves and Mrs. Claus. 1840, sections of holiday advertising were starting to be published in weekly newspapers. Almost a decade later, another author by the name of James Reese created a lovely Mrs. Claus for our beloved Santa Claus in a story entitled A Christmas Legend. However, Mrs. Claus did not get much attention until 1889 when Catherine Lee Bates created a popular poem, Goody Santa Claus on a Sleigh Ride. By 1890, the tale of Santa Claus was full force. A gentleman by the name of James Edgar dressed up in Massachusetts as the first department store Santa, creating the tradition of little Susie or Johnny to personally ask Santa for that little dolly or toy truck they have been so angelic for. Another great tradition was created that year as well. The Salvation Army Santas. Needing money to provide free Christmas meals, the Salvation Army uniformed unemployed men in Santa suits onto the streets of New York to collect donations. By 1931, artist Haddon Sundblom created the first Coca-Cola Santa. Today, many of us look back at generations of celebrating Christmas with hopes of Santa's arrival on Christmas Eve. He has been in the homes and hearts of many throughout the years and continues to be an icon of hope, giving, and happiness. Santa's history is truly amazing. From a bishop born in 270 AD that gave his all to those around him, to a jolly man in a red suit that delivers presents every Christmas Eve, St. Nicholas's story shows how far a good deed can go. So this Christmas, share the magic of St. Nick's story with friends and family. And don't forget, have a Merry Christmas.